I always endeavor to try to put the most current news or information that I'm aware of. A story ran like wildfire this afternoon about a interview that Trump did with, I forget the guy's first name, but anyway, the guy's last name is Costa. And he was on the Trump plane. The plane was delayed from taking off for about an hour. So this guy had like a bunch of time to get with Donald Trump. Okay. He asked the $364,000 question, do you believe that Obama was born in America, the United States? And Trump gave the same bullshit answer to him that he's been giving. Well, hell, that basically hung all of his quote-unquote surrogates out to dry, because between Giuliani, Mike Pence, and I'm going to say Boris Epstein, because he also said it, and Kellyanne Conway, yeah, okay, that's the 3+1. Each of them said that Trump believes that Obama was born in the United States and that he was going to say it. Well, hell, he didn't say it during that interview, and obviously that led to a firestorm. And I was getting ready to say that none of the surrogates that said that on mainstream media should be allowed to come back onto mainstream media until Trump said yay or nay on that thing. All right, anyway, breaking news tonight. The Trump campaign issued a statement indicating that Donald Trump believes that President Obama was born in America. Anyway, let me play the clip so you can get all of the flavor for yourself.
Here in the studio over the story that is just now breaking tonight. It started when a piece went up on the Washington Post website, authored by a man in this room. The article said that when asked directly, Donald Trump took a pass on the question of whether or not the President of the United States was born in these United States. The evening has now escalated. The Trump campaign has come out with a counter statement after Donald Trump's statement. Let's go to the author of the original article, Robert Costa, national political reporter, Washington Post, joined, as always, with us here in the studio by Nicole Wallace. Robert, what happened tonight?
Well, on Wednesday night, it was really late. Trump had finished a rally in Canton, Ohio. We were sitting on the tarmac. Plane can't get back to LaGuardia for about an hour. So we're sitting there, and I had a list of questions, and one of the questions I had was Kellyanne Conway, Trump's campaign manager, had said about a week ago that Trump now believes President Obama was born in the United States. And I had not heard Trump himself say that. And so one of the questions I asked Trump as we're sitting across in his plane is Kellyanne Conway accurate? And I asked it several times to make sure I was hearing what I was hearing. And he said, I just don't want to answer that question. When I said, is Kellyanne Conway accurate? He said, okay, I'm not going to talk about that. So we had a lengthy exchange about it. And what he said, I published tonight.
When you published this tonight, the conversation was so fast and so furious that within about an hour's time, we got the following statement from the Trump-Pence campaign. First graph accuses the Clinton camp of starting birtherism. More on that in a moment. But here is the nut paragraph, the second paragraph out of 3. In 2011, Mr. Trump was finally able to bring this ugly incident to its conclusion by successfully compelling President Obama to release his birth certificate. Mr. Trump did a great service to the president and the country by bringing closure to the issue that Hillary Clinton and her team first raised. Inarguably, Donald J. Trump is a closer, having successfully obtained President Obama's birth certificate when others could not. Mr. Trump believes that President Obama was born in the United States. It goes on to talk more about the Trump agenda. It is signed Jason Miller, Senior Communications Advisor. Mr. Costa, are you updating your story for the Washington Post?
We just updated our story, but...
All right. First of all, that's bullshit, okay? Because if Trump had accepted Obama's birth certificate back in 2011, okay, this shit wouldn't have been going on. Trump has never said that he believes that President Obama was born in Hawaii. To this moment, he still hasn't said that. So in my mind, all this is his people trying to spin away from this thing, but Trump, in his mind, still doesn't believe it. And I won't believe what that statement just said until Donald Trump, out of his own mouth, says that he believes that President Obama was born in Hawaii. And the reason he won't do that is because he doesn't want to piss off his white supremacist buddy and his base, because he's been running that bullshit for the last 5+ years. He's been running that bullshit. So, as far as I'm concerned, that release from the Trump campaign isn't worth the paper that it's written on, because Donald Trump had an opportunity to say it. All he had to do was say, yes, I believe that President Obama was born in Hawaii, and that would have been the end of it for the most part. It would have made major news that he finally said it, but that would have put everything to rest. Now, he didn't want to put everything to rest, and he couldn't, because he knows that his base is going to go wild. So he officially has not said it. There's been a release from his campaign, but that's not him saying it. Let me finish out with this particular clip.
The fact remains that Donald Trump himself has not weighed in on this issue further. We haven't had a statement from Donald Trump. The campaign it reiterates that President Obama was born in the United States. That's what Kellyanne Conway said a few days ago. That's what Jason Miller and other top aides said tonight. It'll be interesting to see when Trump goes to Miami tomorrow. I hear he's going to be going to the Little Haiti neighborhood near Miami, and what he says when he's surely asked the question.
Nicole, before we get your reaction to this, I want to share with everyone how this rose back up and became a thing. Our friend and colleague Chris Matthews has always called birtherism Donald Trump's original sin. Chris had Rudolph Giuliani on his broadcast the other night and went there on this topic. Giuliani, saying Trump now believes the president was born in the United States, became the first of 3 people in the Trump circle to say some version of that. Here is the montage.
I want to know whether you believe that your candidate for president believes he would succeed a legitimate president or not. Does he believe he would succeed a legitimate president?
Donald Trump believes now that he was born in the United States.
So he believes President Obama was born here. I was born in Camden, by the way, New Jersey. He was born in Hawaii. But the point is, what kind of president has he been?
Donald Trump and I both accept that the president was born in the United States of America. Questions were raised in prior campaigns over the last 4 and 8 years by various sources, and they've all been answered.
Giuliani, Conway, Pence. And now tonight we have Jason Miller, Nicole Wallace speaking for Donald Trump. What is going on here?
Well, what's going on is his campaign is rapidly responding to their own candidate. And my question for you is, what do you think he believes in his heart? Where do you think he thinks Obama was born?
I can't speak for his heart, but I had a lengthy...
So asked him 3 times. What do you think he believes?
Multiple times, and I think he's clearly has a position he does not want to fully articulate at this moment. It's taken him a lot of time just to get to a position where some of his associates are saying what they're saying.
Is that wrapped up in his inability to go back and apologize and admit wrong?
I think that sometimes when we look back at the birther crusade for Donald Trump, it was something that animated his political career, but it also came from a personal place. This was something he took as a real issue for the country. And when he talked about sending investigators to Hawaii and other places, it was not in jest. This is something he actually thought about seriously. And I think this is reflected in how he's handled the question.
That's bullshit. He never sent any damn investigators to Hawaii. If he did, show us the bill. He made that shit up, okay, just to further inflame, his base by promising them that his investigators found things about Obama that were going to amaze everyone. We never heard from no damn investigators because there were no investigators. Trump pulled that shit in order to embarrass President Obama, and he won a small battle. That battle being he forced President Obama to produce his papers, which is racist to its heart.
Because Trump wasn't joking when I had the conversation with him. He was really resistant to engaging with it because, for whatever reason, that's how he feels.
Okay, so here's my theory. I think in debate prep this has come up, and all the advisors that you just played have been trying to coach him on this question. I think they view this as a stumbling block if it comes up in one of the debates. And I think that what he said to you is what he believes. And I think that Kellyanne Conway and Rudy Giuliani, and we had Chris Christie here last night, I don't know where he comes down in terms of what he's advised him, but I think they view birtherism and the Muslim ban and the mocking of a disabled person as three hurdles standing between Donald Trump and the presidency, now that the polls have tightened. So I think this is a clear example of the campaign trying to clean up their candidate on an issue where he does not agree with them.
More than that, it sounds like you're saying it's the campaign trying to move their candidate in the preferred direction.
Move him. They're trying to cover up for their candidate's true beliefs. I completely agree with you. I think birtherism, and there's an alarming number of people in Trump's base who sort of share that belief, a really disturbing number of people still hang on to that, and where we sort of have missed the Trump story, it's that connection, and I think some of it is Trump's connection to his original base, and his original base was born of, excuse the pun, his campaign and his, jihad, if you will, on birtherism.
One last observation. I spent 10 hours with him, and I really got the sense, having multiple conversations, that Trump remains a true outsider, that consultation, even from people he likes and trusts and hires, he only takes in so much of it. He's a loner in many ways politically. He makes his own decisions. He runs on his instincts, and everything else to him is noise, and it's Trump at the center.
Because Donald Trump believes that it was Donald J. Trump that got Donald J. Trump to the dance.
That's absolutely. And one other thing I'd say is when he takes advice, it's when he's on his heels. It's after his loss in Wisconsin. It's after his disastrous August. Where is he now? He's tighter in the polls. I know Joel's going to give us a reality check on that, but the polls have tightened, and he's back to listening to his own really strong brain, or whatever he called it.
Let's check in with the Clinton campaign. Kristen.
All right, so there you have it. As far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump still hasn't acknowledged that President Obama was born in the United States. And until I hear the words out of his mouth, I will not believe the stuff coming out of his campaign. He is still playing to his base, his original base, and the white supremacists and racists around the country that still believe that President Obama was born in Kenya and that he's a secret Muslim.